foreigners realise how rich Norwegian swearing is, how vast the vocabulary, and how eloquent Norwegians swear. It's hard to grasp the finer nuances, the shades of meaning between very bad, not very bad but almost, and kind of very bad but only sometimes. For the next minutes or so, I'll give you a few examples of how Norwegians swear, and if you're learning Norwegian, how you can expand your vocabulary and feel free to communicate freely with natives. One example is motherfucker. Oh yes, we have motherfuckers in Norway as well. But the thing about motherfuckers in Norway is that it sounds like morning fucker. Morapuler sounds like morapuler. And some people, many people, at least the older ones, think that the meaning is morning fucker. And so based on that, they make new words. Evening fucker, night fucker, you bloody night fucker, forbanna nattpuler. There was an ad some years ago on Norwegian television featuring an old couple, and a man tried to, I don't know, seduce his wife, convince her that they should go to bed together, do something. And every time he tried, the wife went, "Vent til fredag, sa jeg." Just wait till Friday. And that's the arch-typical Friday fucker. You get nothing, and on Friday you get everything. Some Norwegian swear words don't mean anything at all, or the meaning has been lost throughout the ages. A word like nederdrektig, din nederdrektige lømmel. To modern ears that sounds like you below pregnant fool. And it can't be what it means. Below pregnant, under pregnant, down pregnant, niederschwanger in German. But it's a marvellous word. You can call anyone that when you go out on town on Friday night. Din nederdrektige drittsekk. There we go. He knows his swear words. The most common Norwegian swear word is faen. That word is almost empty. You can fill it with any emotion you like. If you're sad, you go faen. If you're happy, you can go oh, fy faen. If you're mad, you can go fy faen. It can also be used inside sentences, of course. Du er faen meg en jævlig kul fyr, ass. Faens drittsekk. Det skal du faen meg ta deg faen på, ass, for faen. Some people use faen every sentence, every other sentence. And still, they get the point across. They're able to say what they mean, and people understand them. Just a testament to how versatile the word faen is, and how important it is to know how and when to use it. Some places up here are silent. Some places have these huge mountain walls. No wind. And if you use swear words, you have to use them with force. Take a word like faen again. Faen can be silent, or it can be shouted, and it means something completely different when you shout. What's this? Faen, det gikk dårlig! The word comes back from the ages. Centuries of fawns are laid upon laid, layer upon layer on that mountain wall. It's a good thing to have that word, to use it and to feel strength from the old Viking days. Farm comes with the force of the old Vikings and their beards. Another popular word is fitte, cunt. Now Norway is a very feminist country, egalitarian. It's very proud to be that, as is Sweden and Denmark. So when you use fitte, you should know that many people react because it's a name for the female organ. Kuk, the male organ, is not as bad. Tiss is just baby language. Din tiss sounds like you're 5 years old. Some people think that fitte and kuk, or pick, should be just as bad. But they're not. Fitte is worse. Once I tried that during a basketball game. I missed an easy shot, I went kuk. No one reacted much. A minute later, another shot, another miss. I wasn't that good. And I went fitte! And everyone just stopped. Referee stopped. It's a female. My mother, watching the game, she stopped, silent. She stared at me. And I thought to myself, fitte is perhaps not a word to use too often. Some people say that, yeah, why not? Use it. I like fitte, I can say fitte all day long. I like to do whatever I want to do with fitter. Fitte er kult, ass. Jeg liker å være nær fitter, og fitter smaker bra og sånn. But still, it's got that ring of very badness. So if you use fitte, it's better to say something like fittetryne. Fit, cunt face. To make it more mellow. As fan, the devil is a popular swear word. Djevelen is not. It's a bit hard to say, djevelen. But you have jævlig, it's much easier, used all the time. Jævlig kukkas, jævlig fittetryne. So as fanden and jævlig is popular, his place is also popular. Helvete, and fan I helvete is perhaps the most common combination of swear words in Norwegian. Fan I helvete. When you use that phrase, it's important to open your mouth as wide as possible. In Stavanger, dette race are sharp and small. Stavanger. You have to use days from Østlandet, from Østfold. Så ikke sånn som du er her. Hvis du skal si faen, så sier du faen! You can't say fan. Fan, vet du. Sounds Swedish, it's even worse. Same with helvete. You have to go helvete. You can't go helvete. Helvete, det gikk dårlig. Helvete, det gikk rett I dass jo! Much better. A nice word is mushroom. Sopp. Din sopp. I suppose it means you idiot, you fool. can't think. You think like a mushroom. You look like a mushroom with that hairdo. But it's nice, it's cozy. Halla din sopp! Hvordan går det, soppen? It's even in some circles a strange term of endearment. What a word like brødfrø. I have no idea what that should mean. Brød is bread, frø is seeds, bread seeds. It means you're stupid, you think like an owl, you're a watermelon, something like that, but it's much more, somehow. And I use it all the time. My brother's a brødfrø. Halla brødfrø, hvordan går det? He calls me a jerk. Like in English, when things go bad or aren't good enough, it sucks. Det suger. Hvordan går det med skolen, Frank? Nei, det suger å være på skolen, altså. Like in English, it can suck hard. Det suger hardt. But also lots of other things. Like lie. Det suger lut. Suger balle. Suger mormora dis gullhår i ræva. Suger negerkuk. Suger fittetryne. Suger loff. Suger horehue. Suger danskebåten. Suger DDE. Suger rottegift. Suger cola. Suger homogjøk. Everything can be sucked in Norwegian. Hard or not as hard, or loose or not as loose. But it's always bad. Even though it's so good. Det suger så jævlig kult, ass. Det suger så jævlig hardt. Det suger så bra. Det suger så bra means it really sucks. Even though it's good. Nihen. Din jævla knehøne. A nihen is a coward. Like a chicken. Why a hen, not a chicken? It can be. Eller kylling. Eller knehøne. Helninjoni. Suppegjøk! Suppegjøk, din jævla suppegjøk! Forbanna suppegjøk! Damn soup. What's it called in English? That bird going cuckoo, cuckoo, which doesn't care about its own offspring. One of those soup birds is a moron, fool, idiot. Fy is a very common word to emphasize in swearing. You got fy faen, fytti helvete, fytti katta, fy til katten, as in fy. That's what you say when kids behave badly. Fy, ikke gjør det. Fy til katten. Fy on the cat, because it's a devil, probably. But you also got fy farao, fy flate, fy filleren, fy... What's more? Fy Frank, fy Fabian. Now Fabian is a strange word. It's a name, but it sounds very, very Danish and very posh. It's one of those names you use when you want to be Oslo West, lots of money, upper class, Danishish. Fabian? Fabian sitter der og ser på TV-en sin. Han har en yacht som han kjører langt med. That's Fabian. So when you go fy Fabian, it's a bit fy Fabian. Same almost with fy Søren. Søren is also a name. Also quite Danish. Fy Søren. Fy Søren, det var en fin bil. it hasn't got much force or swearing energy, but it's nice to use sometimes. Fy søren, se på den utsikten da, dere! It's getting warm up here. One of the most contentious words in Norwegian nowadays is the word neger. About 50 years ago it wasn't bad at all for most people. They made children's songs about Negroes. Like Torbjørn Egnes song. Det var en gang en negergutt som hette Vesle Hoa. Pippi Longstocking's dad, she says, is a Negro king, negerkonge. But it changed it now to South Sea King, right? Sydhavskonge. For some people, neger is still nothing. It's just a term, and you use it to describe people from Sub-Saharan Africa, with dark skin. But it's a bit strange because lots of people not from Africa have dark skin as well. But it's also strange that Norwegians find it so offensive. Norwegian history of slavery and racism is not quite the same as American or South African or what have you. Of course, Norway was still part of the world 100 years ago, and they did terrible things. But the word neger wasn't that bad 50 years ago. But now it is. And we have this generational struggle about who's to decide what the word means and how bad it is to use it. Negerarbeid is used by some to describe work which is repetitive, monotonous, not very funny, not very rewarding. Some find that terribly offensive, some don't. Some call themselves neger. Ja, neger. I know a Bosnian who calls himself neger. Ja, jævla neger, ass. Hører på rap og sånn, ikke sant? Fy faen, jeg og nigera der borte. I know a Somali guy who hates it. If you want to use neger as a swear word, jævla neger! Forbanna negerfjell! Doesn't sound that good, does it? You can use it sometimes, of course, if you know what you want to say and how you want to say it, but it's touchy, so beware. Hva ser du på? Purte rasshøl. Hva faen tror du innbiller deg at du kan tro du er noe bedre enn meg? Det er ikke så jævlig lett, skjønner du. Det er jævlig tungt. Oppover hele forbanna tida. For svarte svingende sviskesuppetrygende nesehårslikke jævel, ass. Ikke tro du er noe bedre enn meg, fordi at du sitter der på ræva foran datamaskinen din og ser på den greiene her. Her går jeg og sliter meg ut for å finne noen forpurte bannord. Og så er ikke det godt nok bare for at jeg er sliten og puster litt tungt, da. Fy faen, rasshøl! But it's no offense, really. Gi faen. Gi faen. Gi faen, da, for helvete. Nei, nå gir jeg faen, altså. In English you have give in, give up, gi opp, give in, gi etter. In Norwegian you have the same with faen. Gi faen. You can either mean, oh stop it, come on, fuck off. Or it can mean, I don't give a damn. So when I say, gi faen, it means stop it, whatever you're doing in front of your computer. But you don't stop, obviously. And so I go, nei, da gir jeg faen, altså. I don't care what you're doing. Lite du har gullhår i ræva, da. Just like most languages, sex is always a very effective way of swearing. You got words like suge, jukke, runke, slikke, pule, knulle, peise. And you can combine those words with almost any other word, you know, or nouns. Like I just said, mandagspuler, fredagspuler, mountain fucker, fjellknuller. Good work. But the best thing you can combine them with is probably animals. And you can do that ad nauseum. Bisonpuler, sauerunker, jævla myggfitteslikker, elgpeiser. So it's strange, but still. Elgrunker. Norwegians use some English words as well, of course. English being the lingua franca of the world, at least in Europe and Africa, most of it, and Asia. The most popular, and America of course, most popular English swear word in Norwegian is fuck. Fuck deg. Fuck det da. Some also say shit. Shit ass. Jævlig kult ass. But cunt isn't used much. Fit is better. Hell isn't used. Motherfucker, morapuler is better than motherfucker. And fuck us. We're up at the top of this one at least. We're going down there. And no one can hear me now. If I shout, no one can hear me. It's too early. No one's here yet. And yet you don't want to shout it. You want to whisper. That's one lesson from swearing, I suppose. You have to use the voice and the loudness and the level and the intensity to get what you want, what's suitable in the situation. And here, just listen to the wind, listen to the clouds. Fuck ass, jævlig kult ass. Doesn't cut it. You just stay silent. That's another boat. 2 of them today. Why is swearing so important? Why is it so tantalizing and interesting? Why is it so important to control what people say and what swear words they use and what not? Well, one reason is that swear words stick. It's part of what you learn when you're a kid. As a child, you learn that some words, they shouldn't be said. They're taboo, not to be used. Almost, sometimes never, sometimes just occasionally. They have some kind of special power, magic power, which of course is bollocks. But if you believe it, they have it in a social setting. And you can't get rid of that. If you learn that farm is taboo at a young age, you believe that the rest of your life. And that's why everyone thinks that young people, adolescents, speak like sailors. They swear and curse all the time. They don't. Compared to old people, they do. Compared to themselves, they don't. Everyone thinks that language is deteriorating when it comes to swearing, because the words you used to think were terrible when you were young aren't terrible anymore, and young people use it all the time. Use those words all the time, and so it's a struggle for power, really, for definition. Who should define what is a bad word and what is not a bad word? Who should have the power over language? And so it's important for everyone. And it's touchy, because if you think a word is bad, you can't get away from it. You know that young people say "fan" just as a matter of fact. It's a normal word. It's not to you, and you know it's different for you than for them, but you can't get rid of that feeling anyway. Every time someone says "fan," it's, oh, they say they're wrong. Oh, it's not that bad now, but it sounds so terrible to you. And that's why young people find it fascinating to use those swear words, because they have power. They can say things just by saying a strange word. They can get old people, adults, to listen, to pay attention. They have the power. And very few words, you can say that about very few words. And so, swear words are an essential part of social fabric in a way. What swear words you use defines who you are, where you're from, how old you are, and what kind of religion you have, perhaps what kind of view on life, how conservative you are or not. The thing about language, though, is that it's a common thing. It's everyone's language. And no one can decide by themselves what words are vulgar, what words to use, when. We have to decide together. And if I say neger is vulgar, shouldn't be used, and you say no, it's no problem, it's just a normal word, I can't decide what you mean, you can't decide what I mean. But what I can decide, and what you can decide, is how insulting it feels to me, personally. So I can say, "Nigger is insulting to me. I feel that it's not good. I feel threatened by it. I feel sad when you use that word. I feel the burden of history upon my shoulders and your shoulders, and you try to use those racist terms against me. I don't like it. Please don't do it." Then it's normal to say, right, if you don't like it, I shouldn't use it. But on the other hand, sometimes it goes too far, right? Sometimes you have people saying all words are insulting somehow. In America now they have pronouns which are insulting. You can't use he or she, you have to use something else. Because it's insulting to their gender identity. Well, for some people it can be, of course, if you are transgender. But for others it's just rubbish. It's just a way of getting attention, just a way of taking power, really, by whining. "Oh, you're insulting me. Oh, don't do that. I decide what's insulting. You cannot decide anything." Terrible. So you can't use that as a sword to win all discussions about what's insulting or not. Your own personal opinion. You have to decide within reasonable boundaries. And what are reasonable boundaries? Well, we have to decide together, right? I think the thing about swearing is about using the language as efficient and effective as possible. If you know how to use your language, you know how to swear. And that doesn't mean just saying fuck all the time. Fan in Norwegian. Fan, se på den fan, där är fy fan. It's about using different words. Many words, strange words. It's about knowing your language, having a great, big, huge, marvelous vocabulary. So, swearing is not something bad in itself. Bad language, bad swearing is bad in itself. One way of expressing disbelief or surprise is by saying dratt til sjøs, go to sea. Dratt til sjøs for et fint fjell. Or gått av banen, get off the court. Really. But it sounds just like go take the metro. So some people start using the train instead. Gått av toget. Godt av trikken, for en kul bil. Always it's expressing the same sentiment. The feeling is by saying things like Jesu navn, short for Jesus. Men Jesu navn da? Har du vokst siden sist, eller? Helledussen. Det er også euphemism for helvete. Nei, men helledussen, se på deg da, så stor du har blitt da. Often used by old women to small grandchildren growing up faster than they thought they would have. Just a ball. Sometimes you need to swear to get rid of emotions, like when you walk like this. And yes, but like someone said, you push every inhabitant of India around this lake. Yeah, that's half as many as the mosquitoes. So swearing can be cathartic. We can get rid of emotions, feelings, blow the lid off, get some steam out. Sometimes it helps just to say fuck you to the small buggers. Puler I ræva små myggfitter. So now you know something about Norwegian swearing from my mouth, what I think about it. What do others think about it? You see down there, on the water, there's a boat with a boatload of tourists, Norwegians and French and Finnish and Swedes and Danes and whatnot. In a couple of hours I'll meet them on the path. They'll be going that way, opposite of me. And I'll ask them. I'll go, excuse me, do you know any Norwegian swear words? And what is your favourite Norwegian swear word of them all? And why is that? And do you like Norwegian swearing, or is it just rubbish? And we'll see what they say. Yes. You go, damn! Or fuck it!
What do you say?
In Norwegian.
Faen.
Faen!
Yeah.
Swear word. The most normal is faen.
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 Faen. So, 10 foreigners have a single Norwegian swear word. couple of Norwegians. Faen. And the guy said, helvete. Faen I helvete.
Faen?
Yeah, we use faen.
Faen.
Faen. Hestkuk.
Hestkuk.
Ja.
Hestkuk.
Hestkuk.
So now we got fly faen, one helvete, one hestkuk. Like you said, from the north of Norway, it's not very much used down here. Horse dick. What's the best Norwegian swear
I
word?
don't give you that. You should not learn bad words.
Swear word.
Yeah.
The best.
Your favourite swear word.
Oh, you asked the wrong person.
Your favourite swear word.
Calm.
Hard.
Uh,
Your favourite swear word in Norwegian.
Farm.
We're not swearing people.
So when you stub your toe, you go. Ah. You go.
Faen, you say.
Farm.
Faen.
One you like to use the most.
I don't know actually what's my favorite.
You don't swear.
No, a little bit.
So when you stub your toe or you fall down from a ladder.
Faen.
Hard.
Faen. F.
Faen.
Faen, see we. Yes.
Hard.
Yes, that's if you do.
Yeah.
Yes, faen.
Hard. In Norwegian,
yes.
can I ask you a question? What is your favourite Norwegian swear word? When you swear, what do you want to say? What do you say the most?
We don't swear.
You should we look at you.
Look at me. I don't swear a lot, actually.
When you stub your toe like this, you go.
faen.
Ah. I think we can summarize. Hikers don't swear that much. Foreigners don't know Norwegian words, Norwegians.